Commanding General Yahanna will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle. Finally, the truth about King James, a black man who helped to preserve and safeguard the Bible. Live September 29th, 2023. Commanding General Yahanna live at King James Castle in Scotland. Come on down and support the I.S.U.P.K. UK. Lift a glass, come and join the brotherhood and drink with the ancient as we celebrate and keep the Feast of Tabernacles for our King Yahushua in King James Castle, bringing his crew of heavy hitters. Commanding General Yahanna will put 12 chill General Muhammad scripture breakdown class up against anyone, against any biblical scholar, untested, unchallenged, I.S.U.P.K, undefeated. Leviticus chapter 23, the Feast of Tabernacles in a black man's castle, hosted in Scotland, the United Kingdom, UK. Commanding General Yahanna will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle, Thursday, September 28th, Scripture Breakdown class. Friday, September 29th, there will be a King James Castle tour, also a Johnny Walker Distillery tour, and Friday night, the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles. Saturday, September 30th, we will have camp on the streets of England. Sunday, October 1st, the UK Cookout. Monday, October 2nd, the Warwickshire Castle Tour. I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General Yahanna at King James Castle in England. This is an absolutely monumental, historical event.
Want us to stop. But man, don't we deserve a shot? Don't we deserve a shot to be the Lord's people? Israel, let's do it!
Hello mate, I spun the hard Monday. Now your place when the cuss I win the chase. Get straight to the pace from a day.
Hey, Shalom Israel, it's Captain Shock, right here from DC. Don't forget, this September, end of September, the 28th, 29th, 30th, all the way up to October 4th and 5th. Commander Yahanna, the I.S.U.P.K, we're going to be live in the UK, United Kingdom. We're going to be up in Scotland, in King James Castle. You see the nigga on my chest. Really right there. King James, man, a black man. We're going to go to his family castle in Scotland and Edinburgh. That castle was built on a volcano. Now, that's some nigga shit, man. That's some nigga shit right there. Up on top of the volcano, brother. You don't want to miss it. Kentucky Camp Leader, you could get down. Kentucky Camp Leader, you could make this trip. You brothers in UK, you sisters in UK, you all come on through, man. Commander Yahanna going to be right in your yard. Back hometown, we're going to be Birmingham, Manchester, Leicester, Nottingham, London, Croydon, everywhere done. Everything done.
Now your face and London, done. Another plus clansman, bad man's king down, one dance, paint on gunman. And if you feel like sending the do action, recheck good man, go get a wrong bang. My style, them a kick like Van Damme, Birmingham, London, England, Brampton. Listen up, them off the home, find them from a dirty gun, mad dog from a Burberry. Let us beat me a papa with a pill them, got away you say. Senseless pan the $1 million job. Hashtag got the gang pan the gram from a fans. I'm ready to it smoother than the dance. Fit them up. Better know our time pan the clock. You know watch them flop, them last pan them up. Gun in the land, dun. Another plus clansman, bad man's king down, one dance, paint on gunman. And if you feel like sending no do action, recheck good man, so I get a young bang. And my style, them a kick like Van Damme. Birmingham, London, England, Brampton. Yahanna, how the girl chase that, now manifest that. Bad money, we a make away the vaccine fan.
And I can't let no hold a lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Mohammed one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit, and I ain't listening. Is it fact or fiction? If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I came to do damage, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Baby. How you real trickin' on them dots, you a bird feeder. Claiming he a demon, was a demon to a cult leader. When he saying something, I ain't hear him, this shit light work. It's about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you won't never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angel for your brother's blood. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I enjoy. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right, let's clap it up. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatham to the Akim, Yahweh Shemalathan Bashem Yahshua to all the Akwathim. This is the I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. The truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressor, the white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We are not affiliated with any other Christian church or Hebrew Israelite group. 1 West is home of the truth. If it's not under Commanding General Yahanna, it's not the truth. You understand? What we're going to get into tonight is something that, a lot of us in Israel, whether you went to school or not, just has forgets this lesson. History repeats itself. History teaches us a lesson, and it's high time that we start listening to what our oppressor is trying to tell us. And what is that message that our oppressor is trying to tell us? That he hates us. He absolutely hates us. He wants us destroyed fully and completely. We are not to question him. We are not to talk back. We are not to, do anything contrary to to what he's saying to do, and then we best do it. But if you know Israel, you know we ain't supposed to be in that position. We're supposed to be the head. We're supposed to be the rulers of this whole earth. No one is supposed to tell us what to do except in rank and order of the Most High God. That's the only ones we're supposed to be taking orders from, not from our oppressor, not from some Elamite, not from some heathen, not from some Hamite. Definitely not Esau.
Right.
We're supposed to be giving the world orders. We're supposed to be correcting them, not the other way around. How do I know this? Let's just go real quick to Deuteronomy 7:6.
Whenever you're ready.
All right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Hold on 1 second, real quick. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, type it in the chat. Type it in the chat, and we're gonna get to anything that you have. Right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
But thou art an holy people. Who's he talking to? He's talking to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You may think of us as, what they label us, was it super criminals? Super predators. Super predators. That's what they call us. Did we invent the atomic bomb? Did we drop it on? Did we drop it on? Innocent men, women, and children, old and young alike?
Right.
Did we do that? Did we kill hundreds of thousands in one shot, and then killed even more than that from the after effects of that one shot? And I'm talking about the 2 atomic bombs that they drop over Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right.
Did we invent mustard gas and then come together and say, this is too deadly, we can't do this, we shouldn't use this in warfare anymore? Did we do any of that?
Right.
Nah. So how in the hell are you gonna call us super predators? But the Most High God called us a special and peculiar people unto himself. And we're about to read that right here. But the world calls us, niggas, spicks, and wetbacks. It's not what the Most High gave us as names. That's not what the Most High called us. That's not what the Most High calls us. He calls us his children.
Right.
No matter what the world pushes you to believe, or pushes the narrative, Most High God doesn't call everybody his children. He calls the nation of Israel children, the ones that the world throws away and disrespects so openly. We're about to get to that in a hot second. Disrespect so openly, and not just disrespect, but hunt down and kill and destroy and rob and rape our people, his people. But the Most High God has something for that as well. But let's read that from the top again, Baruch Shaw.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
We are separate. Keep going.
Unto the Lord thy God.
We are separate unto the Most High God.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
So the Most High God chose us. The Most High God chose us. We're to be special unto himself. We didn't do anything to deserve to being chosen, but he chose us. You know what I'm saying? A pair of kicks that whoever makes, that might be my favorite, but it may not be his. The shoes didn't do anything to make it my favorite, or to make it a number of people's favorite. It just, he likes to, I like these type of pair of shoes, and Barack may like another pair of type of shoes. But the Most High God likes niggas, spicks, and wetbacks, and savages. That's what the world calls us.
Right.
But the Most High God calls us his special people. He chose us. Right? Keep reading.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above,
Below,
above,
equal to,
above.
So right here, the Most High God is putting a certain group of people in a certain category. He put them above what?
Above all.
Who?
Above all.
The Russians.
All.
The Spaniard.
All.
The French.
All.
The Ethiopian.
Above all.
All above. Hold on. I know someone out there is out listening. Above. Let's see. Ghanaians.
Above all.
The Nigerians.
Above all.
You know what I'm saying? Above the Egyptians.
Above all.
What everybody know, a lot of people know, is the Cometians.
Above all.
Keep going.
People that are upon the face of the earth.
So there is no question about, who is he putting above who. He put the nation of Israel above every single nation, every single race that's on the face of this earth. Every single nation that's on the face of the earth. The reason why we're at the bottom right now, the reason why, that's another reason why the world hates us. You ever see, a team? I know you played sports before. Mm-hmm. You ever seen a team where the team is good, the whole team is good, right? But there's one person on that team that's like a cut above, maybe a cut above everybody else, and whole media focuses on that one person, sure, that one player, or maybe it's basically the player, because they don't really care about the coach. The coach is the coach, but that player who's out there, getting in the two-a-days just like the rest of the players, who's putting up shots just like the rest of the players, who's in the weight room just like the rest of the players, but still he's just that much better. As good as everybody else is, he's that much better. Mm-hmm. Not only does the whole league hate that team, but they especially hate that one person who everybody says is better than everybody. And if you don't manage it right, the team becomes like that as well. How about, you can see that in musicians as well, when, these groups split up, because even though, there's that one guy or one girl that may be that may be better than the rest, everybody's focusing on that one girl, and it creates, some sort of jealousy or whatnot. Right. Everybody can understand that. Well, this is what I'm talking about. The Most High created all of us, but he chose us because we were special. And the reason why everybody hates us is because we are special. The Most High God chose us. We are better than them in everything. And cooking, I don't never hear nobody say, man, I want to get some good old fashioned white people cooking. Right. I don't never hear nobody say that. Right. How about this? Dressing. Even though you have the oppressors labels, not labels, but you have the oppressors, clothing line. Who is making it fly? Who is making it, who's putting that extra sauce on it, right, to make it, make people want to get it? Right. It's Israel. What about we're better dressers, we're better singers, we're better dancers, we're better at everything. Now you want to talk about, okay, well that's something, we're better sports athletes, we're better than that. Now that's physical, whatever. How about this? We're better at inventions. You wouldn't have your cell phone if it wasn't for a black man. You would there wouldn't be no NBA 2K league or Madden league or Call of Duty league without a nigga inventing the video game. How about you enjoy driving sensibly, right? You wouldn't be enjoying driving sensibly if it wasn't for a nigga who created the stoplight. Or how about this? Everybody gives credit to the to Henry Ford for mass producing the car. Yep. You know who he got that from?
From a slave.
Yeah, technically, yeah. But you know in particular who he got it from?
I know, I just can't think of it.
George Washington Carver. Oh. George Washington Carver knew Henry Ford, mm-hmm, and he gave him the idea of the factory line, mm-hmm, so the way he can mass produce it. Mm-hmm. That was George Washington Carver, the dude who made a billion different things out of a peanut. How about that? If it wasn't for him, cars would be, you know, the cost of a Rolls Royce, and it would still be, you know, super expensive, where it's out of reach for the everyday man or woman. That was thanks to a nigga. You wanted to see the stars and the heavens and the moons, quote unquote. You want to thank a sister for putting a white man on the moon, for doing the calculations that a room full of white men couldn't do. You can thank a sister for that. And the reason why? It's because the Most High God chose us to be a special people. Right. Now, if once we get it into our heads, once we get into our being, now we already know that we already know that we're better than everybody. We know this. Some of us don't say it, some of us don't flaunt it, and there's others who always flaunts it, who always says it. We say it all the time on them corners. Why? Because we have to wake up the people who believe that they ain't nothing but a drug dealer, an alcoholic, a dope fiend, right. You know, a promiscuous woman, a fast woman, right. or just all around useless. We have to tell you over and over that you are so much better than what the world says that you are. Right. You may be down and out, you know, because you never knew the truth. But the Most High gave you power. He's teaching you how to be his people. And the way he's teaching you is waking us up so that we can bring the truth, not this truth, the truth to our people. You are better than every man, woman, and child that is not Israel. You are just better than them. Who's you know, the top CEO of some whatever major Fortune 500 company, whatever. The lowest crackhead is better than them. How do I know this? Because they could be dead broke, waking up jonesing for whatever, and then they find a way to figure out a way to get that $10. They find out a way to get away to they're the ultimate entrepreneurs. How the drug dealers out there? They some entrepreneurs right there. Right. You just putting them, when I say you, I'm talking about the world is just putting them in a situation where they have to turn their genius into criminal activity. Every time that they try, our people try to pick ourselves up by our bootstraps, you kick us down. Right. And this has been going on throughout history. This what we're going through right here, right now is nothing new. We've been in captivity. We've been in oppression. We've been in segregation. And every time we try and pick ourselves up, every time we get reminded of who we are, we get kicked back down. But like I said, the reason why we're in this position is so that we can turn back to the Most High God and never forget this lesson again. Once we out of this captivity, we don't have to worry about, you know, going back into captivity ever again. Why? Why is that? Because you was about to say something? No. The reason why is because we'll have the Most High God's laws everywhere throughout the earth. This will be God's kingdom ruled by Christ. That's right. And the laws of the land is right here. And that's what we are rehearsing right now. Is there any more on that?
On Deuteronomy 7:6?
Yeah.
Above all people that upon the face of the earth.
Most High in Christ. Anybody say anything online? I came across a video. I was just talking to Barack earlier. I just came across a video where this devil football coach in Florida is going around. It's making a circulation now. Who was up in some kid's face. This dude, you know, he think he's so big and bad. He was up in some kid's face talking about, you know, talking greasy, talking real greasy. He had a lot of colorful language. I was waiting for him to say nigga. I was waiting for him to say that special term, because he was talking like he was, you know, like he you know, he was from the hood. Actually, I think he actually said something like that. He was like, I'm cut from that cloth and whatnot. He was like, I'm from this. He was just talking all greasy, getting up in this kid's face, talking about, you know, I'm a knock you senseless, and he was talking all this, you know, talking all this crap to this kid. And it goes to show you, you know, and it wasn't just this one dude. The room was filled with about 4 or 5 other football players. And he was so bold and brazen to do it in front of everybody, in front of all these kids. Why? Because he's most likely he's done it before. Right. Talking to them all sorts of crazy, all types of crazy. Getting his face, balling his fist out. He was like, "Come on, get up. Just do something. I want to knock you out." That's how he really felt. That's how he really felt. And that's how all of our oppressors feel. How do I know this? All I got to do is go to, you know, Buffalo, New York. All I got to do is go to that church in South Carolina. All I got to do is go visit any cop and basically in NYPD. You know what I'm saying? I can go to Flint, Michigan. I can go to in Minnesota where they killed Alton Sterling. This is how the oppressor feels about us. All these incidences and whatnot, what was going on? It went on in Egypt. It went on in Babylon. It went on in Greece, and it went on when during the Roman occupation. All these heathens sought to destroy us. All these heathens still do it, seek to destroy us. You have something, Salakia?
No, do you know if it was a high school or college?
I believe it was a high school. It was a high school, yeah. And he says it in the in the video, because it shows in the video how the way he was just, you know, ready to pounce on this kid. Just ready to pounce on him. And everybody else was just docile, like, hold up, coach, you going too far. Calm down. Ain't no one gonna say something like that. I'm not blaming the other kids in there. I'm not blaming them. Why? Because our oppressor raised us to be this way. But Commanding General Yahanna is raising us to be a different way. He's raising us to be warriors, raising us to be soldiers, rightfully so. Not to be overly emotional. All he had to, you know, some of the most, you know, some of the most, you know, I wouldn't say dangerous people, but, you know, you can get your point across by just, you know, there's a time to, you know, raise your voice and buck up. There's a time, but there's also, you know, you can be very deadly serious by just saying, you know what, coach, I would appreciate it if you lower your voice when you're talking to me. And then it could just elicit, like, hold up, I might be talking to a different nigga. You know what I'm saying? I might be talking to somebody who might just lay my ass out. So let me watch my mouth. All right, well, maybe I got beside myself. But you know, he could have just totally changed his way, change the way the alter the whole altercation by just saying, you know, we can go there. We can go there. But you know what? I'm willing to bet this kid wasn't raised the way a warrior should be raised. Why? Because he sat there and he sat there and took it. 2, this is what the oppressor does. He makes it so, you know, like I said, not to get on the brother, because he just doesn't know. He doesn't know. But he sat there when the coach apologized and self-suspended himself until further. How could you suspend yourself until further notice? Who gives you that okay to all right, let's go back to, you know, it's time to go back to work. You know, you're off your suspension. That's what this cat said. I'm self-suspending myself until further notice. Like, what? Until you feel like going back to work? Right. Nah.
It's a lot of you too. Like, to say that you self-suspending yourself, like, the first thing I hear when I hear that is like, that is proof that that's not just in that hatred that's towards the black man, that's towards the Latino man. That's not just in the police force. That whole leave on what is it, suspended with pay, or what's the term they use? Not suspended with pay, but leave it it's suspended with pay. To take that same
administrative leave.
Administrative leave is the word I'm looking for. Administrative leave. So when now you suspended, but you get to be home and still get the paycheck that you was getting out of the police force and be still comfortable, be able to pay your bills, yada yada yada. You understand? And then over here, you take a page out of their book and say, well, listen, I'm gonna self-suspend myself until we get this thing kind of worded out, until we get it figured out. That's damn near neck and neck what it sounds like. You know what I mean? You pay yourself on administrative leave. I'm gonna just temporarily step down. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say no apology. I'm gonna just step down, and let it be. That's exactly what that sounds like. That's proof right there that hatred is not just inside the police force and our person's police force. That's inside America. That's embedded into the what's it called, spurs of our person inside of this kingdom.
Exactly. It was a prep school. It was I want to say it's a high school.
It's a prep school.
It was a prep school.
I know the prep school. Okay.
So yeah, he was at a prep school, and what made it so more egregious, not just so, but just made it more egregious. He had the brother that he was talking greasy to, sitting right next to him, and having him say, I accept the apology, and I'm glad he's holding himself accountable. And no, he's not holding himself accountable because he's self-suspending himself. He's not holding.
When he said that?
In that same video, it keeps going on. He's apologizing, saying, I self-suspend myself, and the brother sitting right next to him, and the brother was in the same video.
Where he's going on.
Yeah, because it cuts to it.
It cuts to a separate.
Yeah, okay. It cuts to a separate, so it's paced together. And then he was saying the brother was sitting right next to him, and he was saying, I accept his apology. I'm glad he held himself accountable for his actions, because that's what this team is about. And it was just,
It was like a press conference, or it was still just the team and the coach.
No, it was just them two sitting at a table with the camera on.
Yeah, guarantee they probably coached that.
100% they coached that.
His parents ain't there because his father one that had him sit down and do that.
Unfortunately, I don't believe the boy's father is in the picture, because honestly, if a boy's father is in the picture, there's more of a chance that he wouldn't have just sat there and took it in the first place. Mm-hmm. He just wouldn't sat there and took it in the first place because That's just that's what I feel, because if you just ain't the way he would have at least bucked up, but he ain't do none of that. I could be wrong, but he just sat there, and that's exactly how the way our oppressor wants us. It wants us docile. It wants us, if any oppressor is talking to us, we better keep our head down and talk softly. Only way we can buck up and talk to something, and defend ourselves is if it's another brother. That's when they'll say, all right, well, now look at these two animals. There's no need for that. We could just. What happened to all the? Why don't you just talk it out? What happened to any of that? But that oppressor was coaxing him into a fight. He was trying to get him to buck up so that he can, use force. He was trying to do that. Now, why would you try and do that with a kid? Why would you try and do that? You so big and bad. Why don't you call his father and then talk it out in a back room? Mm-hmm. Why don't you talk it out that way? But nah, you want to try to do it with his son. These oppressors, man, they teach us these lessons all the time, and it's high time that we should listen to their lesson. We should listen to what they're trying to tell us. They hate us. They absolutely hate us. Get me Salakia. Give me Ezekiel 35:3. All right. Oh, you already knew what I'm going to do. Go ahead.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 3. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, on Mount Seir I am against thee.
So, behold, on Mount Seir I'm against thee. This is talking about Esau. This is talking about Esau. He's saying he's against Esau. Keep going.
And I will stretch out my hand against thee.
And I will stretch out my hand against you. You know how I say I'm gonna put my paws on you? That's what the Most High God is saying. See, he talked just like a nigga too. Why? Because he's the original nigga. He said, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna touch somebody. I'm gonna touch these heathens. Right? Keep reading.
And stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
And I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna reach. I'm gonna raise up out from this throne. I'm gonna reach out my hand against you, and I'm going to destroy you. This is what the Most High God is saying about Esau. You want to know? Whenever I was in church when I was a kid, I would always think, where are we in the Bible? When I say we, I'm talking about black people. Where are we in the Bible? Because they raised us to think that Israel was them white people, the oppressors. That's what they raised us to think. So I was like, where are we in the Bible? Then I was, once I came into the truth, I realized this Bible is about us. And then I was like, well, where's the white people in the Bible? Right. Where's the oppressor in the Bible? We're reading about them right here, right now. Read that from the top one more time.
And say unto it, thus saith the Lord God.
So you don't know, there is no question about who's talking. Thus saith the Lord God, right?
Behold, O Mount Seir,
O white man,
I am against thee.
I am against you. Keep real.
And I will stretch out my hand against thee.
And I'm going to raise up.
And I will make thee most desolate.
And I'm going to destroy you. I am going to destroy you. This is what the Most High God is saying about our oppressor. Right? Let's keep reading because there's more.
Verse 4. I will lay thy cities waste.
I'm going to destroy your cities. I'm going to destroy New York. I'm going to destroy, LA. Even though we're the ones who made it. They're the ones who are in charge of it. I'm going to destroy New York. I'm going to destroy LA. I'm going to destroy London. I'm going to destroy Greece. I'm going to destroy Rome. I'm going to destroy all these places these heathens are, right? I'm going to destroy them all. This is what the Most High God is saying. Right? Keep reading.
And thou shalt be desolate.
And you're gonna be laid the F out. You're gonna be laid the hell out. I'm going to destroy all your cities, just like how the way they destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I want to know how much tourism they have in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Can you even go back there? I don't know. I don't even know. And I was living in Japan. I don't even know why I ain't say, hey, let me just go to Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Let me just see what's going on over there. That didn't honestly, that whole time I was there, that didn't even cross my mind. It didn't even cross my mind. I wonder. I'm gonna look that up real quick, when we get up out of here. But just like the way y'all laid cities waste, just like the way y'all lay in cities like Port-au-Prince, they laid it waste. Esau did. Just like they laid other heathens nations, cities to waste. Before Outkast made a song, bombs over Baghdad, Esau did that. Hey, Esau did that. Where do you think carpet bombing came from? It didn't come from Hamites. Hey, listen, carpet bombing. No, it didn't come from them. It didn't come from Elam. No, they didn't do that. It was Esau that did that. They're laying cities waste, and now you're gonna see Most High God saying, "I'm gonna lay your cities waste, and you're gonna be desolate." Wait till World War III comes. That's when it's gonna happen. That's when it's gonna happen, and honestly, it's gonna happen before that. It's starting to happen right now. Let's keep reading.
Verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
And you shall know that he's the Most High God. That's when you're going to know that he's the Most High God. The richest, arguably the richest city and most powerful, not city, arguably the richest and most powerful country on earth. I say arguably because, 20, 30 years ago, there was no argument. It was the USA. But now, not so much. Not so much. That gap is closing. It's closing fast. Thanks to BRICS. Thanks to BRICS. That gap is closing fast. Now you're gonna know when you become desolate and your cities are gonna be laid to waste. You're gonna know it's the Most High God. It ain't gonna be no economic collapse, or our the dollar just lost weight, or you just lost the war. No, it's you going to absolutely 100% without know it's gonna be the Most High God. Because there ain't gonna be no excuse that you can put it on something else. And that day you will know it's the Most High God. Let's keep reading.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Because what?
Thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Now he's still talking to our oppressor, the white man, and he's saying the reason why I'm doing this to you is because you had an everlasting hatred. You had an everlasting hatred for us. Was there anything online?
No.
Okay. And this is the reason why the Most High God is going to destroy you. It's because you had an everlasting hatred. Now, the only reason why you are going to survive this desolation is because you're going to repay everything that you've done. Everything that you've done to his chosen people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, the ones that you call niggas, spicks, wetbacks, and savages, you are going to repay everything that you've done. You're going to repay for the concentration camps that you have our people on. You're going to repay for the rape, rob, and murder. You're going to repay for the school to prison pipeline. You're going to repay the for the war on drugs. You're going to repay for Jim Crow. You're going to repay for transatlantic slave trade. You're going to repay for colonialism of our people. This thing goes on and on and on. You're going to pay for the Trail of Tears. You're going to pay for all the race riots. You're going to pay for all of that. All of it. And you are going to be in slavery just for a couple centuries. That's it. You just a few centuries. And then once that debt is repaid, then the Most High God is going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You ain't gotta work no more. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be in slavery. You ain't got to answer to nobody. You ain't got to wake up early and go to sleep late. You ain't got to wake master's bed no more. You ain't got to do none of that. You ain't got to, change the chamber pot. I'm going to make sure it's going to be a chamber pot in there just so you can change it. You ain't got to worry about none of that. You want to know why? Because you're just going to be wiped out. The Most High God is going to wipe you out. And it's going to be akin to the second coming of Christ. What they say, get your popcorn ready? It's going to be a show. It's going to be a show. And the reason why is because you is going to the Most High God. You, Mr. White Man, Esau, our oppressor, has had a perpetual, everlasting hatred. Keep going.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
Because you have had a perpetual hatred for us, and you have shed our blood in our calamity. This is our calamity right here. This captivity that we're in, and you're still shedding our blood. George Floyd, what did he do to be put to death in front of, live in front of everybody? What was so bad that he didn't even be tried? He was just executed right then and there. What did Philando Castillo do in order to be executed in front of his wife and kid, his child? What did he do to be executed like that? What did Trayvon Martin do to be executed? We are under your authority. Why? Because we don't have any authority of ourselves. We can't, we can't do the things that you do. Even though your constitution and your laws say that we can, we absolutely cannot. So we are in your care. And what do you do to us? You destroy us. You push drugs into our community. You create such an environment where we cannot work honestly. Where we cannot get ahead of just the regular old bills. You know how docile, dead ass. You know how docile we would be if we could just pay the bills and maybe go out once or twice a month and still have a little change left over, and not have to save up just to get some school clothes for our kids. Do you know how how docile this we would be? Like, really, some people just want to be able to pay the bills and not have to worry about working 2 and 3 jobs. How about that? But because you force us into the cesspool of not being able to make it, not being able to just have the bare necessities, like literally the bare necessities. You force our hands and cut off opportunities just to make an honest living. We're trying to pull ourselves up out of bootstrap, and that's how and we are creative about it, both legal and unfortunately sometimes illegal. But you're the ones who put us in a situation, and then you demonize us for the things that we need to do to keep our head above water in your stick of society. The brother in New York was selling cigarettes outside of a store. If he had a job that didn't require if he had employment where he could have made ends meet, I'm pretty sure that brother wouldn't be out there selling cigarettes. Like, seriously, who for real? There's another brother. Was it Mike Brown? What did he do to be what did he do to deserve to be executed in the middle of the street in his own neighborhood? What did he do? Walk in the middle of the street and tell you this is his street? That's enough to get killed? Nah, man. See, this is the reason why you got to go. But before you go, you need to pay back everything that you owe. You need to pay that tab. You need to pay that bill. And that's why your term is so short. It's only, like I said, it's only a few centuries. It's only a few centuries. And then you get to go. Any more on this?
No. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
At the time where their iniquity, our transgressions, our sin had an end. This is the end of our sin. And you was 100% sent by the Most High God to teach us our lesson. But you went overboard. You went overboard, just like someone who's drunk with power that think they can do anything they want whenever they want and get away with it. Scripture says, I'm paraphrasing, you kill us and then hold yourselves not guilty. That's no problem. It's no problem. The Most High God is going to send a judge to judge you. And then you will be judged in the street. You will be judged in the street. And that judgment will be final. That judgment will be just and right. And that judgment will fit the crime. I saw a video where this oppressor was saying how the way he before I go in that, do we have anything online? Okay. I saw this oppressor saying how the way he was how he changed his thought system on the, you know, the prison system, the prison disparities against black and white and whatnot. And he was saying because he was in jail and he had his I guess his bunkmate, whatever. He knew someone who was in there who got sentenced to 20. He got sentenced to 20 years at the age of 16 for a felony charge. And he said he didn't say what it was, but he's like, it was a group thing. And he was the least culpable, which means he had the least to do with it. And no one in that crime, the commission of that crime, got hurt. And he said it was his first arrest. He never had any charges or anything against him. And the judge gave him 20 years. He got arrested. He was in jail twice for a total of 10 years, 5 years each. And he said he got arrested twice for 2 felonies and he had multiple charges on him at that point in time. So this is his 3rd time being in jail when he was telling this story and he was talking to this dude. And he said he had multiple felonies. They both got arrested and sentenced in the same circuit, same jurisdiction, same thing. But he got less time. Why? Because he was white. He was an oppressor. And the other dude was a brother. They hold themselves not guilty for stuff that they should be put away for. And then us, the reason why the jail cell, the prison systems are so, you know, corrupt is because it comes from slavery. If you didn't know what the 13th Amendment is, the 13th Amendment says slavery is illegal unless you commit a felony. So it's no wonder why they are so eager to put us in jail, to put felonies on us. It is no wonder that they over-police our communities in order to do this type of stuff. And guess what? If you even look up, I had to stop looking at, you know, who gets prison, what companies get prison labor from. I had to stop because, you know, a lot of that stuff, I would look it up and then just like boycott them, like not deal with them anymore. That was kind of like my little, you know, rebellion against, you know, those companies. But it got to be where it's like, it is everything that we use. Right. It's like everything that we use, every facet of our lives is intertwined. And guess what? Slavery is still in the DNA of the United States of America. It is run by slave labor. Now you got the slave labor that's coming from the prisons, and you got the slave labor that's coming from our brothers and sisters from the Latin American community, the Northern tribe. That is 100% absolute slave labor. Just like brothers brought out before, if the Northern tribe stop doing what they're doing, it's going to cost $50 for 5-ounce salad. You want some you know, different types of fruit or you know, some nuts in it, man. It's extra. Who wants to pay $50 for a salad? And the reason why it's so cheap right now, the reason why it's $5 and not $50, is because our northern tribe brothers and sisters are working on slave labor. Slave labor. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Right? We have anything else online?
Nothing more.
All right. Give me Revelations 13:9.
Revelations 13:9.
Revelations 13:9. Yeah. Hold on. Slack here. Give me Proverbs 22 and 16. Let's see.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches.
Now, what was I just talking about? What was I just talking about? I'm just talking about, how the way the prison systems operate. I'm talking about how the way the prison systems operate. We are in jail. So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are in jail. Fill up the prisons. Fill it up. And they want to think, they want us to think that parole is such a good thing. I want to say this is a high number. I may be misquoted here, but I want to say something more than 80% of cases gets pleaded out. More than 80% of cases gets pleaded out. Whenever someone gets arrested or whatever, they 80% or more or greater, they'll take a plea deal. A lot of times, sentences will be reduced, or like actual prison time will be reduced, and then they'll add it on at the end. When I say at the end, later on with the probation, right? And what probation really is you still on the hook. Just like how the way what's his name got Meek Mills got arrested. He was on probation it's so crazy. He was on probation for a charge that he was 100% innocent of. It was a pistol charge. So he had some crooked cops come in and plant a pistol on him, sent him to jail. He got probation, and then what he did was pop a wheelie. So he got cited for, I want to say reckless driving or something like that. And then the parole that he was on, or probation that he was on, was like 7 years. So since he got arrested for popping a wheelie, he had to do all those 7 years. That's what these oppressors are doing to our people. They get you on a hook for something minor, something that shouldn't be. He shouldn't have even been on parole in the first place, on probation in the first place, because that pistol charge came from crooked cops. Came from crooked cops who was lying and cheating and stealing people's livelihoods, people's lives.
Right.
And how many Meek Mill stories are there out there right now? And the only reason why, unfortunately, Meek is out right now is because he had some fame and some notoriety. How about the cat that don't have no money, that can't rap, that can't ball, that doesn't have the household name? What about all them people that's like that? I seen that one documentary on what's that brother's name? Khalif Browder. And he had his bail set. He had his bail set for like $500, right? All he needed to do was have $500 and we get out of jail. But his people is poor. We poor. We didn't have that much money. We're trying to make the rents. We're just trying to get some bread in the house so that we can eat, so we can go to the job. It was like $500, something like that, to get him out. Didn't have that money. Guess what? He was on probation for something else. Joyriding. That's what he was on probation for. And because he was on probation, bail was revoked. But then it showed a whole list of people who had bail at similar prices. And they couldn't get out because this is a group of poor people, poor, underclass, underserviced individuals, and you locking them up for jaywalking. You locking them up for littering. I don't know if you know, but niggas in New York just throw stuff on. If it don't hit that trash can, I'm gonna keep on walking. Why? Because unfortunately, it's trash everywhere.
Right.
It's trash everywhere. And you locking niggas up for that. You ain't locking up the people up in the Upper West Side. You ain't locking them up on, Saks Fifth Avenue for doing the exact same thing.
Right.
But you locking up the poor and the underclass, the fatherless and the widow. And you're doing this on purpose so that you can get them into a felony condition. Why? Because, once upon a time, when you was in jail and you broke a rule, it's not a law. If you broke a rule, you did some time in what they call the hole or something like that, right? They add 2 months onto your sentence or whatever. Now, if you do something like that, you get retried and they add years on. Why is that? Because it's by design to keep these prisons filled. You keep these prisons filled, you get them to go on like work release, whatever. And they're doing a job for all these major companies and corporations for slave labor prices. Our brothers and sisters who's in jail and has to work for work on these jobs and whatnot, they're getting like $2 a day. If that. You know how much ramen noodles cost in prison? It's like $5. They gotta stay over 3-4 days just to get some ramen noodles. It's crazy. It's crazy. And on the outside, when when they have to hire real people, not to say that the brothers in jail are not real people, when they have to hire someone who is not doing slave labor, $30 and $40 an hour to do the same job that the prison is doing for $2 an hour. $2 a day, and not an hour.
Right.
Thou has had a perpetual hatred, and the Most High God is going to kill our oppressor. But keep going. Read from the top one more time.
Verse 16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches.
And that's exactly what these prison systems are doing, right? Oppressing the poor to increase their riches. Keep reading.
And he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want.
They're going to surely come to want. What does that mean? They're going to be desolate. They're going to know how it feels to not know how to make ends meet. And in that time, I mean, we've seen history, like we're talking about how the way history repeats itself. You see how the way, when the rich get poor, you better watch out on if you into boating or whatnot, watch out when you go over them bridges. Watch out. Because the oppressor likes to, end stuff on bridges.
Right.
They like to do stuff like that. Why? Because they don't know what it means to be poor. They don't know what it means to not know where the next meal comes from. Right. They can't stand to hear their children cry because they're hungry. And it's not to say that we like to hear that stuff, but we band together. We tough it out. We do what we need to do in order to feed our family. This is the fortitude of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Why? Because we've been living it for so damn long, and these oppressors don't know what it feels like, but they will. They will. This is according to the Most High God. Read that again.
And he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want.
He that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. That's right. Drop that. Give me Malachi 3 and 5. Okay. Because we're gonna see how this is history. This is our history, and this is what the Most High God has to say about about these people, and he has to say about us as well. All right, go ahead.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 5. And I will come near to you to judgment.
I'm going to come near to you to judgment. Keep reading.
And I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swears, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow, and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his rights, and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts.
Man, that sounds all like Esau right there. Read that from the top again.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 5. And I will come near to you to judgment.
He's going to come near to you to judgment. He's going to judge you, right? And how's he going to? He's going to come near to you. He's going to come down and do this work. Right? Keep going.
And I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers.
Against the sorcerers. What now? What is a sorcerer? A sorcerer is a drug dealer. Now you think Avon Barksdale or Tookie or what's that brother's name in New York? The one that Denzel played.
Oh, you talking about Frank Lucas?
Frank Lucas or Bumpy Johnson or man, what's that other dude's name? But you know who I'm talking about. You think they some big time drug dealers, right? Nah. Our press is drug dealers. Ronald Reagan is a drug dealer.
That's right.
Nancy Reagan was a trap queen.
That's right.
So like I heard something about Nancy Reagan that was just wild, yo. Let's keep it moving. But Nancy Reagan was the original trap queen.
Right.
Ronald Reagan is a drug lord.
Right.
Those are the sorcerers that the Most High God is talking about. Keep reading.
And against the adulterers.
And against the adulterers. Now they're the ones who promote, divorce. If you don't feel happy, go ahead and get a divorce. Now that comes from the church as well, but the church is taking orders from the oppressor.
Right.
The church, the Christian church, the AME, what is it called? The African Methodist Church, whatever, AM African Methodist Episcopal, whatever. That's still taking orders from the white supremacy.
Right.
All of that is white supremacy. The Pentecostal, the Baptist, all of them, white supremacists. And they say if you're not happy, go ahead and leave them and marry someone else. According to the Bible, that's adultery. According to the word of God, that's adultery. Now, how in the hell can you say that you believe in God and you're teaching God's word, you're teaching his people God's word, but you can say if you're not happy, go ahead and divorce? Nowhere in the Bible does it say you should divorce. Nowhere that gives you the authority to divorce at all. Nowhere. None. It tells you time and time again that if a man sleeps with a married woman, that is committing adultery. Both the man and the woman shall be put to death.
Right.
Absolutely shall be put to death. In those days, the priest will come and execute those orders.
Right.
But right now, the Most High God is still executing those orders. It still happens. It still happens. You don't believe me? Ask what happened to that brother Trouble. The Atlanta rapper Trouble. What happened there?
Right.
What happened to what's that brother baseball player? Big Poppy. What's that dude's name? From Boston. He's not from Boston.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah. Nickname is Big Poppy. He's Dominican. He got shot up in the Dominican Republic at a club. Why? Because there was allegations that he was messing with another man's wife. And that man had some clout, had some power, and he sent some hitters to shoot him up. And that's exactly what they did. He survived. But that's God's judgment. You are not to go and take another man's wife. Even if they're supposedly split up, the Most High God says, don't do it. Leave it alone. There's plenty of women out here who don't have a man, who have never known a man. I put it that. Let me clear that up. Who have never known a man. What is known? Not laying with a man, not having sex with a man. Why? Because sex is marriage, according to the Bible. If you don't know, you know now. Sex is marriage. You lay with a woman, that is your woman for life. Woman, you lay with a man, you are not to lay with another man ever. Until death do us part, that's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. Let's keep reading. Where we at?
And against those that oppress, and against false words.
False words. Someone who's a liar, who says something that about somebody. No, and it's an actual lie against those people. Right? Keep going.
And against those that oppress the hireling and his wages.
And those are, man, don't you know that's every so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian? They 100% oppress against us.
Right.
It should, they say the minimum wage is supposed to be a livable wage, but how come you need 2 and 3 minimum wage jobs just to keep a roof over your head?
Right.
I saw some online about this about these rent rates that are going up. I've seen it in my day, have gone up, maybe $50, $100 at the end of the contract, at the end of the year, whatnot. These bastards are so bold and brazen that it went up $700 from one month to another. $700. How, Sway? I can't even put that into words. Like, how can you justify a $700 rent increase overnight? How? They say the average rent, I want to say in like Manhattan, is $5,500. You crazy. And the brother said, you crazy. You stupid. You stupid.
Right.
What? What job are you working? What slavery can you have to be able to afford something like that? Man, that's crazy.
Right.
These people are oppressing us. The hireling now they made. I remember when before they raised the minimum wage up, it was a big fuss about it. Like, now we can't support ourselves if we raise the minimum wage up from, it was like $8.25 and it went up to like, I want to say like $15 or something like that. They said if we do that, we have to go out of business. Them businesses ain't go out of business. They ain't go out of business. How did it not, how did it affect their prices? How did it affect their business? Those same companies that saying, no, we have to go out of business are still in business right now. And even though they raise it up, you still live in hand to mouth. You still have to go and get a second one or work some OT somewhere. In certain cities, even, that's just the minimum wage. Even if you make, $20 and $30 an hour, it's still not enough.
Right.
It's still not enough. Now, why is that? Why? Because the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
120%. Let's keep reading.
And against those that oppress the hireling and his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his rights.
The widow and the fatherless, just like that oppressor was talking down on that brother, and then made him sit right beside him as he self-suspended himself until he felt like he can, it's time for him to go back to work again. These people, are out of their minds, man. This is the reason why the Most High God is going to send, a host of army, Christ, the judge, our king, along with 200 million angels.
Right.
This is why, these oppressors are going to have to be put to death. And the only thing I'm going to do, if the Lord allows, sit back and watch and enjoy some popcorn. Lord allow, it'll be some strong on them chariots. You know what I'm saying? With the illest music system. If anybody has ever been to an all-black party hosted by, Captain McCod, knows there's going to be a party.
Right.
Knows it's going to be a party. Lord allow, it's going to be a huge party on them chariots.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So like, if you want to keep going, Baba Shaw.
The widow, the fatherless, and turn aside the stranger from his rights. And fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts.
Saith the Lord of hosts. They don't fear him, saith the Lord of hosts. And who does not fear the Most High God? Our oppressor. 100%. Our oppressor does not fear the Most High God. You want to know how I know? Didn't they make same-sex marriages legal? Yes, that's not fearing the Most High God.
Right.
Do they allow the processing and sale of pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, crustaceans, shellfish? Yeah, they do. That means they don't love the Most High God. They don't fear the Most High God. Do they allow, cigarettes to be produced and sold? Do they allow, they just, made marijuana legal? That means they don't fear the Most High God. And for all those people who say, it's for your pain and whatnot, how come you have to smoke it in order to relieve your pain? Ain't there other ways that you can medically take it for medical purposes? Why do you have to roll it up and lick a phallus and then put it to your lips and then pass it along to another man to put it on his mouth and then pass it back to you? Why do you have to and then suck it? Why do you have to do that? That's a rough, yeah, exactly. After this man put it in his mouth, after you put it in your mouth and you passing it back and forth, 3 and 4 niggas, and you sucking the same thing. Yeah, that's rough, huh? It's not good for the culture. That's rough, huh? You ain't never heard it that way, huh? We need to hear it that way. Those who do that do not fear God. Everyone who does that does not fear God. Let's keep reading. Yeah, what's up?
He said Proverbs chapter 16, verse 20.
Let's get it. Proverbs 16 and 27.
The book of Proverbs chapter 16, verse 27. An ungodly man.
That's it, yeah.
Diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is a burning fire.
An ungodly man, one who does not fear God, one who does not have power in his life. That's what an ungodly man is. Someone who does not have a power in their life to guide them and to lead them from destruction or protect them from hurt, harm, and danger. Protect them most times from themselves. They diggeth up evil. How do you get marijuana? How do you get, tobacco? You got to dig up that thing. You got to dig it up. And then they roll it up. Like I said, they roll it up. It's just what I heard. I don't know, I don't have no problem now. You know what I'm saying? What they do is they roll it up and then they lick it. They lick it and put it all in their mouth and whatnot. Get it all moist. And then they they light it and suck it.
No way.
And suck it to get pleasure from what they suck. And they can't do it by themselves. They got to have somebody else with them. They got to have somebody, 2 or 3 people with them. So then after they do that, and then they get, somebody who can roll a whatever, the best, they have to get that same brother to do it all the time now because he roll the best. I like it when I suck it after he rolls it. I want you to get this in your head. All them weed smokers, I want you to get this in your head and just let it sizzle in your soul, like Country Wayne would say. Let that sizzle in your soul, in your spirit. Let it sizzle in your spirit. Get that in make it graphic as possible, and because the only way that you can get pleasure is by sucking something.
Yikes.
You hear that? The only way you can get pleasure is by doing something like that. What's wrong with you? No. See, you got to dig up evil and put it to your lips and burn it. That's a wicked man right there.
Sure.
That's wicked. Now all them other casters out there that's saying it's from the earth, we just read it right here. You dig up something and you burn it and you put it to your lips and burn it and whatnot. And all the mother cats say that we do it for medicinal purposes, for the the benefits of it. I've heard that the THC actually helps certain medical ailments, but that does not mean that you have to take a long brown phallus, put it to your mouth after you just took it from somebody else who put their slobber all over it, and then you suck it. That does not mean you have to do that. You have something?
Oh, watch you say they are partaking in the sucking of Satan's saliva.
Yo, I watch you crazy. Wow. Hell yeah, exactly. This is what all you weed heads is doing. All you weed heads is doing. You really think that you want me to you trying to lead me to believe that you take something long and brown and suck it and think that you just that's your culture? Just like you say, you're doing it for the culture. What culture are you trying to do it for? What community are you really participating in? You doing it for your community. The Most High God says we ain't to do this. And the whole reason why, we think that is, that's black culture is because the oppressor leads us to believe that is black culture. It is 100% not our culture. We are not to do that. It has been like that since the beginning. These laws, statutes, and commandments are not new. This is not something that something that was just made up and just brought to the forefront, just because it's new. No. There was cats way back in Eden who was smoking. Way back when Adam was walking around, who was smoking. And we are not to do what the heathens do. We are not to do what the heathens do whatsoever. Anything that they do, we shouldn't do. We should do what the Most High God tells us to do.
Right.
That's it. That's all. That's the only thing that we should do. Why should we do anything that these heathens do? They stink. They're stupid. They're violent, classless people. I'm talking about all the heathens. Why should we want to do anything that they do? Anything, and especially if they want to try and get us to do it, 100%, you should 100% absolutely just automatically think that anything that they try and get us to do is to harm us. It's to get us to sin. You shouldn't believe, a word that comes out of their mouth unless it's vetted. What do I mean by that? You should if you're getting something from them, go ahead and talk to a priest and prophet. That's it. Get some counsel on it. Get some counsel on what these oppressors are telling us to do or telling us that we should do. Why? Because they tell us that weed is legal and we should go ahead and get a weed card so that we can go ahead and smoke it and whatnot. Not knowing that once you get that weed card, you cannot it makes it very hard. It makes it very hard for you to obtain a weapon so that you can protect yourself and your family. Makes it very hard. I'm not saying I don't know 100% the laws on that, but that's one of the things that they're doing. So go ahead. You want to go smoke weed and suck a brown phallus for your enjoyment? I suggest you don't do it. But that's just what my suggestion. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to close this out. You got anything? Nothing else?
I don't.
Nah, just push it over like the way you're doing on Wednesday. Just push it over there, and you stand over there.
Okay, I got you. That's what.
So is nothing else?
Nah,
Most High in Christ. And with that, I'm gonna pass the class to Priest and Officer Barack.
So I got my rookie at this.
No, you.
Security announcements. We the I.S.U.P.K at 1 West 125th Street at Harlem, New York, under Commander Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew and it's pronounced I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you want to give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you like to give. The upcoming holy convocation, we got the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. That's the first day of the 7th month. That'll be Friday, September 15th of this year. You can find that in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. The Day of Atonement, which is the 10th day of the 7th month. That'll be at the end of September, Sunday, the 24th of this year. And you can find that in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 27 through 32. And of course, we got the Feast of Tabernacles. Commander Yahanna is taking I.S.U.P.K out there in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is going to be hosting out there under Commander Yahanna the Feast of Tabernacles, which is the 15th day of the 7th month for 8 days. That'll be Friday, beginning Friday, the 29th of September through the 7th of October, which is a Saturday. Of course, the events and our itinerary has already been posted and plastered across the line. You understand, on all the airways, YouTube, Facebook, the promos. You understand, if you have any questions or concerns, comments, you're trying to figure out your transportation, your passports, any of those things, you want to get in contact with your camp leader so that you can get that information. This is for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. From the memorial blowing of trumpets to the Day of Atonement to the Feast of Tabernacles, you want to get in contact with your camp leader as far as where you guys are going to hold it at in your location, in your zone, in your city, in your state, in your country. You just want to stay in contact with your camp leader. All right, the Feast of Tabernacles, once again, is going to be in the United Kingdom. For the brothers and sisters that want to attend, you understand, our itinerary has been put out there. I believe the events start September 28th. The event starts September 28th, I believe, all the way up till Monday, all the way up till Tuesday. I believe there's going to be a whole lot going on. General Haas and the Letter Hebrew speak on Monday. You understand, a whole lot of events that's going on. The itinerary is posted up on the Facebook. All you got to do is look it up. All right. Tonight, Commander Yahanna will be on live. You understand, on the Black Watch News, America on Fire. You can check it out on the YouTube. You can check it out on the Facebook. You can check it out on the TikTok. We're going to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to that. You understand? Leave a comment or two. You understand? Share it. All of that and above. Repost it. All of that. That'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to that. That'll be on in the next couple minutes coming up today. You got anything you want to add on that? Remind Akim and Akwati to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a troop in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black hair, and a scarf. And with that, I say Amajim, which means the sign. We're gonna give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Barakatah.
Yahweh Barakatah. Bless me.
Let's put the videos on commercials.
Yeah.
Commanding General Yahanna will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle. Finally, the truth about King James, a black man who helped to preserve and safeguard the Bible. Live September 29th, 2023. Commanding General Yahanna live at King James Castle in Scotland. Come on down and support the I.S.U.P.K. UK. Lift a glass, come and join the brotherhood and drink with the ancient as we celebrate and keep the Feast of Tabernacles for our King Yahushua in King James Castle. Bringing his crew of heavy hitters. Commanding General Yahanna will put 12 chill General Mahaiman scripture breakdown class up against anyone, against any biblical scholar, untested, unchallenged, I.S.U.P.K, undefeated. Leviticus chapter 23, the Feast of Tabernacles in a black man's castle, hosted in Scotland, the United Kingdom, UK. Commanding General Yahanna will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle, Thursday, September 28th, Scripture Breakdown class. Friday, September 29th, there will be a King James Castle tour, also a Johnny Walker Distillery tour, and Friday night, the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles. Saturday, September 30th, we will have camp on the streets of England. Sunday, October 1st, the UK Cookout. Monday, October 2nd, the Warwickshire Castle Tour. I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General Yahanna at King James Castle in England. This is an absolutely monumental, historical event.
Want us to stop. But man, don't we deserve a shot? Don't we deserve a shot to be the Lord's people? Israel, let's do it!
Hello mate, a Spaniard Monday, now your place when the cuss I win the chase, get straight to the pace from a day.
Hey, Shalom Israel, it's Captain I.S.U.P.K, right here from DC. Don't forget, this September, end of September, the 28th, 29th, 30th, all the way up to October 4th and 5th. Commander Yahanna and the I.S.U.P.K, we're going to be live in the UK, United Kingdom. We're going to be up in Scotland, in King James Castle. You see the nigga on my chest. Really right there. King James, man, a black man. We're going to go to his family castle in Scotland and Edinburgh. That castle was built on a volcano. Now, that's some nigga shit, man. That's some nigga shit right there. Up on top of the volcano, brother. You don't want to miss it. Kentucky Camp Leader, you could get down. Kentucky Camp Leader, you could make this trip. You brothers in UK, you sisters in UK, you all come on through, man. Commander Yahanna going to be right in your yard. Back hometown, we're going to be Birmingham, Manchester, Leicester, Nottingham, London, Croydon, everywhere done. Everything done.
Now your face and London, done. Another plus clansman, bad man's king, down one dance, paint on gunman. And if you feel like sending the do action, recheck good man, so you get a wrong bang. And my style, them a kick like Van Damme, Birmingham, London, England, Brampton. Listen up, them off, know where I find them. From a 30 gun, mad dog, from a Burberry hat. Let us speed me a papa, when I pill them. God, the way you say, senseless, pan the $1 million job. And got the young pan the gram from a fans. I'm ready to it smoother than the dance. Fit them up, better know our time pan the clock. You know watch them flop, them last pan them up. Done in the London, done. Another plus clansman, bad man's king, down one dance, paint on gunman. And if you feel like sending the do action, recheck good man, so you get a wrong bang. And my style, them a kick like Van Damme, Birmingham, London, England, Brampton. Yahanna, the girl chase that, manifest that. Bad money we a make away the vexing.
I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Mohammed one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop to stretch the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit, and I ain't listening. Is it fact or fiction? Revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do damage, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Pack. How you real trickin' on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. Was a demon to a cult leader. When he said something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. 3 soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. 3 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you will never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brother's blood. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I enjoy. I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.